Actually, our mission is to cool the Earth by 1 degree Celsius. I think this should be a mission, not only from BYD, but from all of us as an individual and also as entities, also as the enterprise to reduce the emission.
Welcome to BYD Colombia, the podcast where we dive into the real stories of those who have taken a chance to invest in Colombia and have come out on top. I am Julio Cesar Puentes, Vice President of Foreign Investment at ProColombia, and together with the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Tourism, we are thrilled to invite you to join us on this journey of discovery, joining into our podcast to unlock the full potential of Colombia as a destination for foreign direct investment. Lara, thank you very much for having us here. For us, it's a pleasure to be here in BYD. If you want, why we don't start by that? Why do you tell us a little bit more about BYD? What is BYD? Because I would like to, for our audience, know a little bit more about who you are. I mean, what is the company doing here in Colombia? What is the business line that you have? Why Colombia?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Julio, for setting up this interview. I'm very honored to be invited to be your guest today. Yeah, so it's also very happy to share with all the audience of ProColombia who is BYD and what BYD is doing, especially here in Colombia. So actually BYD, we are a young company. We were founded in 1995 in China. But right now the company has developed so fast and it became a very multinational company. And for BYD right now, we define ourselves as a global green high technology leader in the world. And actually the company, in total, the company right now, we have over 600,000 employees globally. And we have like 10% of them are R&D, like engineers. They are doing all the research and the investigations in China for different kind of technology and products of BYD. So BYD in general, we have different lines of our products. The first line is automobiles. So we are also the global electric mobility leader. So we have different kind of advanced technologies for electric vehicles. And BYD, we have another line is called electronics. Actually, this is our first line of products since 1995, and we produce rechargeable batteries. Until now, we are still take like every 10 phones from the market, smartphones, we have two phones using BYD's technologies. So that's 20% of the phones in the world are using BYD's technologies in the electronics, different kind of components. So even some important those IT giants, they are our clients, like Samsung, like Apple, and like Huawei, those Chinese companies. So this line is the first line of BYD, and until now it's also contribute a lot to our business. But in this line of specifically, we are not taking BYD brand. In automobiles, yes. So the third line we have is new energy products, including solar panels, including the energy storage systems using BYD core technology, battery technologies. The fourth line I want to mention is about the rail transit. So it is the technology we are moving is called monorail or sky rail. Actually, it's kind of monorail technologies for the massive transport. We have this kind of solution is to solve the congestions we're facing today in a lot of cities. All the days we have traffic. So this kind of solution is quite effective and also very competitive economically to be implemented in middle-sized cities to solve congestion issues. So we have different kind of projects launched in China and even in South America, in Brazil. We are also awarded for two lines, which will use the same technology of SkyRail. So that's the four lines we have in BYD. So BYD right now for us, it's very important to. I think that along with the development of the industry for the electric mobilities, and also clean transport. So BYD is also growing very fast in the market.
I mean, that's really true. At the beginning was like a myth, because we used to have to hear in the business about that the BYD is a kind of, keeping the comparations, like a new Tesla in the market, but with much better performance. And I can do faith of that because I got the opportunity to know that BYD vehicles, electric vehicles, I have a wonderful performance and nothing to envy to Tesla vehicle. Besides that, I would like to know a little bit more about the new electric vehicles. Because we already know that in Colombia you are participating in that in that market with electric vehicles. So, fleet for Transmilenio and also fleet for private use, private consumers. Can you share with us a little bit about the number that you're waiting for your sales, and what is your perspective of your projections for this year?
Perfect. Yeah, that's really a good question. Actually, I want to tell you some numbers. BYD, we started our vehicles. We enter to the auto industry since 2003. So until now, we have more or less 20 years of experience in the auto industry compared with a lot of automakers, which was almost 1 century of history, right? So just to mention some numbers, we took 13 years to deliver the first 1 million vehicles to the market, combining electric vehicles, and in the early stage we had some gasoline vehicles, and we took only 1 year to reach the second million, to reach 2 million cars in the market, and we took 6 months to reach the third million cars. So last year in November, we celebrated our 3 million cars ceremony, offline ceremony in China. And I'm very happy to share that just 2 weeks ago, we celebrated our 5 million cars offline in China. So right now, BYD already have more than 5 million cars in the market, and the majority of them are electric vehicles and also plug-in hybrid vehicles. So I'm very proud to tell you that only last year, 2022, we delivered 1.86 million cars in 1 year, 2022. However, from January to July of this year, we already delivered to the market 1.5 million new energy vehicles. So we expect this year, by end of this year, we can deliver to the market close to 3 million cars only in 1 year. So I think very fast we will celebrate our 6 million cars offline in this year. So another very interesting, also very meaningful milestone for us is last year, 2022, in March, we decided to stop producing any gasoline vehicles, combustion vehicles. We just focus on the new energy vehicles, including pure electric vehicles and also plug-in hybrid vehicles, which are using the key technology of BYD blade batteries. Yeah, so those numbers are very impressive. And only for last year's of some numbers I share with you. Globally, in the world, there are more or less 8 million new vehicles, new energy vehicles. And BYD took 1.86 million cars, and Tesla is 1.3 million new energy vehicles. So right now you can see how is the position of BYD leading this market. You can see from the numbers and percentage we are taking.
Without any doubt, you are big. It's not the beginning, but it's the consolidation of a very strong player in the market. Yeah. That's right, global market. The numbers that you mentioned are really impressive. Can you share with us about what is the key driver of BYD, behind all this success for the company?
I would say technology. Actually, we are, like I just mentioned, we have 10% of our employees are from R&D, and every day we are right now we already applied I think more than 40,000 patents of different technologies, and close to 30,000 of them are already approved. So we just check very fast numbers. Every day we are applying for 11 patents. So 9 patents will be approved. So the company is is a leader in all the advanced new technologies. So for the core technology of electric vehicles, it is battery, motors, controlling systems. So we have the control. We have our patent and our property on all those technologies, especially for the battery technology, which was a concern for a lot of consumers, a lot of in the market at the beginning. But right now, this problem already solved. So the blade battery right now is the most advanced technology we have. It has a long life cycle. It has a very high efficiency, and also economically, the battery also produce. You can have longer autonomy, but with less consumptions. So I would say that technology makes us more advanced and become a leader in the markets of electric mobilities.
Yeah, I agree with you. Not only technology, also innovation, because you were speaking about patents, and that give you the chance to be one step ahead of the competition. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Colombia. When do you arrive to Colombia? What do you consider was the main driver to be here? And if you can share a little bit more about the evolution here, that would be great for us.
Yeah, it's actually that's all a part of my what I'm proud for, because I live here since 2012. I've been here 10 years, so I have a very special feeling to Colombia. It's like the second home country. I have lived such a long time, so I all the time expect the best will happen in Colombia. So I also have the best expectation, and I also see the biggest potential in Colombia. So since 2012, actually we were, it's also quite interesting. So we were called from a project, it's a joint project from C40 and the city of Bogota, and also Enel and BYD. So together we launched one taxi, the first electric taxi pilot project in Colombia. Actually that project is also the first project in the American regions in the size. It was 43 electric taxis. We came here and for this project, and until today, this project is still running. And now this project already reaching 10 years.
With Bogota City.
Yeah, Bogota City, yeah. So actually this was a project, a pilot project led by our current president, Ms. Pedro, and he was the mayor of Bogota, yeah. So he initiated this project. That's also, that is the start of a lighting of the green mobility in Colombia. So we see here in Colombia, because the whole country is right now we're still very dependent on the public transportation for the taxi, for the buses. So that's one of the opportunity we saw when we came first. The first taxi we launched. Then we see for the buses when we learned the experience we had in Shenzhen. Actually, it was a very successful case in Shenzhen. You know, Shenzhen is a city with 16 million population, and now Shenzhen, from 2017, Shenzhen already electrified 100% of their buses to electric. So now they 18,000 buses are full electric. The majority, 99.9%, are from BYD.
Wow, that's good.
Yes. So also 2018, they electrified 22,000 taxis in the city. Then they also the city also promoting electric. Firstly, is in the public transportation, and now the penetration is happening in the end consumers. So the data of 2022 is the penetration of electric mobility in Shenzhen already exceeds 40%. So it's a very successful case. Firstly, electrify public transportation and then go to the consumer market. So that's also how we started in Colombia with the first of our taxi project. Then we see the bus project, we see Transmilenio, we see many public transportation. They are old and they are depending on the traditional technology, and they can make, it's a time to make an electrification. So that's the way we started, and we find, in Colombia we have a different technical specifications. We need to invest and we need to develop. So we decided to invest and develop several new models for Colombia, even from from 9-meter to 27-meter bus. So from one body box to articulate buses. Even though we know that in short time we will not have pay off of this investment, but we see this market is so potential, then we are prepared for this happen. So when I came firstly, then we decided not to approach and to sell directly, but right away, but to make a development for the products on Colombia. Then we make a customized products, and then right now we are start doing another new bus platform upgrading for the applying for the newest technologies of BYD. So from next year we will start delivering different kind of new platforms. Now, so from 2012 until now, we have made several upgrading of technologies along with our battery technology, motor technology, controlling technologies. So I see Colombia right now, the government is also very supportive because we have been enjoying, I think our customers, they are being benefited with different kind of incentives. Like for the electric vehicles, there is no duty, and the VAT is also only 5%, and this 5% could be exempt with a process of movement. So also you can get other benefits of income tax reduction. I think there are several things that which drive the market to reach today's size. I have to say, like firstly is the support from government, like I just mentioned about incentives. Second is also what we are prepared with the technology advancing. The third one, we also have a lot of partners who also are very, I would say they are visionaries about the new technologies. So when the first happened, the second, third come, that's quite positive. So just to say, in Colombia right now, we already delivered 1,550 electric buses into the market. The majority of them, 1,472 buses, are in Bogota, in the system of Transmilenio. We have different partners, and they were traditional operator. They are also investors, international investors. They are also energy companies who has the passion to electrify the public transportation. So this is in Bogota, but in Medellin, we also have like 65 electric buses running with Metro de Medellin. Actually, they are the first clients who took the decision to change the massive fleet to be electric. They are the first, and Bogota followed with the biggest number. Actually, this 1,472 buses in one city is amazing. Impressive. In other cities, it hasn't happened outside of China. So it's a very successful story. I think this also shows, because Transmilenio, it is a landmark for Colombia, for Bogota. And then Transmilenio with electrification, they have like 12% of penetration on electric buses. So it's very proud. They have electric bus, they have gas, also diesel technology, different technology combination. And now they are like for any new purchase, new tender, they will go with zero or low emission technologies. So I think the government really have a very good vision to move forward. Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you for being with us, building this change in the mobility of Bogota, because as you know, we have the largest fleet in electric buses in Latin America. And also it's thanks to you, because you were, in these 2 years, a partner for us. You, Lara, and also you, like BYD.
I'm proud of that.
But tell me, I would like to ask you about how is to do business in Colombia, and because 12 years and you build this amazing history behind the electric mobility here in Bogota. And what do you consider is the main advantage of Colombia as a foreign destination of foreign investments?
I think there are several. But really, I'm appreciative about the support from ProColombia, for example, because when I first arrived to Colombia, the first entity I know is ProColombia. So at that time, ProColombia helped me a lot to set up the business. So I think this kind of entity for investment is very helpful for a foreign company to set up, to know how is the benefits, incentives, and also how is this environment of the country, the policies of the country moving. This is very important, very helpful to BYD. That's also why we decided to stay here and continue to invest. And in future, we hope that we will invest more in the country, right?
We hope so.
Yeah, this is the first point. Second, I think really Colombia has a very geographic location, very good location. It's in the center of the American regions. So when you reach to many markets, it's very convenient. So I would say this is a second point. The third point, right now here, I also see that there are a lot of more transparency and openness in the market. So that also helps the business to grow, because when you are in a more fair market, like you really can see what is the potentials, and also the market, especially to a lot of technologies, it is kind of empty. So empty means opportunities. so that is really, really interesting. That's also not only from BYD. I have seen a lot of experiences from other Chinese companies or other foreign companies I know from Europe or from the States. Even some investors in my projects, they are invested to $200 million, for example, because they see the market really is interesting and it's very potential and very open to receive the new technology, receive the investment. That's really important for the investors when they see it, right? But here, I would say, like, when you want to do it, really you can have a lot of opportunities, very competitive to other markets. That's also is a very good example of BYD. How come that in any other country from US to Chile, let's say from north down to the south, why BYD can deliver the largest electric bus fleet here? And it's electric technology, newest technology in the market. So I think this really a very positive example to a lot of investors. They can see the opportunities here in Colombia.
Thank you for the generosity of your words with us, and thank you for the work for ProColombia. We really appreciate that. Let's gonna speak about a little bit more about the niche in which you are moving here in Colombia, that is electric mobility. What do you consider could be the main challenges that we have here in Colombia for electric mobility?
Actually, a lot. we still have a far way to go, I have to say, yeah, because electric vehicles are still a new technology. Though it is moving fast, but it is still new. Actually, quite positive. Even the market is going down, but the electric vehicles sales are going up. That's very positive. Right now in Colombia, I think one of the challenge we have is about infrastructure, charging infrastructure. This infrastructure we will need a lot of support from the government, also from some of our investors, partners, because now we are selling a lot of vehicles, but the infrastructure actually is quite delayed, I would say, because we are a very big country, but we can start from the most important biggest cities where the consumers focus in the city. So this is one of the challenge, I have to say, very important. And now we have different charging standard, although we already defined the CCS1 as our charging standard, but now in the market there is no this kind of chargers. So we have a tactic when we're selling customer all the time ask, where are my chargers? A lot of business request fast charging stations, not the home charging. That's very easy. But fast charging, you will need a space, you need the equipment, connections. I hope that we can get more attention and support on the infrastructures. Second, I have to say is about the high interest rate now we have, about in general our economic environment. I think this is a little challenge because of the currency fluctuation, because of the interest rate. So the market is not so active than before. So we hope this can be normalized. Then this can also stimulate more purchasing from the consumer market. Actually, we are seeing this year the market is a little slow down compared to the past years. We hope that some positive news can give to us about this. So the third one I want to mention is about financing. Actually, it's also more related to the second one about financing of the project. Right now, because of the currency, because of the interest rate, now the project become more difficult to implement. So people are a little hesitate if I will move on this year or wait till next year. So we're a little bit affected about this kind of challenge. But in general, actually, I think all other elements are quite supportive. Like here we have very good competitive labor and also the talent in Colombia. So the operation in general actually is very competitive here using the local labor, right? So that's also the reason why in Colombia, BYD Colombia, we already have 180 employees, and most of them, I'd say more than 95% of them are from Colombia, our local talents. Yeah.
Well, I have to confess that I have an electric car, but it's no BYD.
Not BYD?
No, but no, not yet. Not yet. I want to be clarified with that.
Yeah.
No, but the point is that you're right. I mean, we have a lack of infrastructure in terms of chargers, because it's impossible if you want to get out of Bogota and do a trip to the countryside. I mean, it's almost impossible because you don't have where to charge that. And I mean, I don't know if BYD is in that line of business, but I mean, that definitely is a thing that we have to take in mind. I mean, for the entire world, I mean, there are a huge challenge that is the reduction of the CO2 emissions. And I mean, I would like to ask to you, I mean, what have BYD in mind for the next project? I mean, what are you thinking about that? What are you doing about that? What projects do you have in the pipeline for this?
Yeah, that's very I think very important question for as our mother land, they say, so mother planet. So right now, for example, BYD, because we have delivered so many cars to the market, we also accumulate different kind of data. We have kind of like reduction of the CO2 for more than 36,400 million kilograms. So which is equal to like 580 million trees, right? Just take the example in Colombia. For example, the fleet of Transmilenio, 1,583 buses in total. BYD and another brand are small units. So total they are like reducing like 94,000 tons of the CO2. Which also equal to like 2.5 million new trees of planting. It's very important numbers. And BYD, all the time we want to align other brands like Tesla, other important electric vehicle brands together to combat, to fight against the climate change. Actually, our mission is to cool the Earth by 1 degree Celsius. I think this should be a mission, not only from BYD, but from all of us as individual and also as entities, also as the enterprise to reduce the emission. This is a challenging, and we are seeing, but we don't touch so closely in our daily life. So, but from when we see the numbers, it's very terrible because the global warming. We need to give the solutions. So that is a mission of BYD, and we also hope to. I also see that this is one of the important numbers from the government. When all the time when our mayor, the president, they talk a lot about the carbon decarbonization, about the emission reduction. So I see that we need to jointly our efforts to make this mission, to implement this mission.
Thanks also, I mean, thanks to you, because with all the fleet that we have here in Bogota, we are also working in that way to the reduction of emissions. I mean, coming back to the fleet, apart from Bogota, that I understand Bogota is one of the main bets outside China that BYD has. You have a plan to reply this initiative of this Sussex in other Colombian city?
Actually, we are already doing that in Medellin. Like I mentioned, we have 65 buses running from 2019. And in Cali, we also have a smaller fleet, 10 buses, but it's very important fleet. We have 9 buses of the 50 passengers and 1 bus of articulated bus. So now it's operating quite well. We have also some smaller projects in Manizales, also like in Palanca Bermeja. Palanca Bermeja.
Also for me, it's a difficult name to pronounce.
Yeah, Palanca Bermeja. So it's there. We also have some buses. Even the client say, "Oh, your bus is good. I want to add more buses to my fleet." So I'm very happy to see that. So now the other cities are also taking the change, but they are a little bit slower. I think they are now in the studies on the project business model and financing in order to implement in a large fleet. So we see like in Bucaramanga, in Pereira, also in Barranquilla. So the projects are moving not only in the public urban transportation, but also in the municipality transportation. So that will be another areas I think we can focus. Also, now we are talking with Secretary of Mobility about the school bus electrification. So here only in Bogota I think they have like 1,500 school bus. So for our children, which are the flowers of the country, the hope of the country, they should enjoy the clean and zero emission technologies. And that's very important. We want to move to this direction as well, yeah.
Wow, with that plans, I have to ask for something. I mean, recently we listened that you are opening a facility in Brazil to produce automobiles, buses. Do you have plans to open another facility in Latin America or maybe in Colombia?
Yeah, very good. Actually, in the States, we already have one electric bus assembly factory in the States. In Brazil, like you mentioned, we have several factories. We had a factory of solar panels, which had 500 megawatts of production capacity, but mainly for Brazilian market. And we also have a battery market. We have a bus plant. We have a battery plant. And like 1 month ago, we just announced we will invest a passenger vehicle plant, production factory in Brazil. So which will be which will have like more than 150,000 units production capacity. So it will be a very giant factory in Brazil. And accompanying this factory, we will also have the battery assembly, and we will also have some another factories to accompany this development. So Brazil is a market with more than 2 million new cars per year. And Mexico is like 1.2 million new cars per year. So we're also analyzing this opportunity in Mexico. Also, frankly speaking, here in Colombia, because we see, because of our successful cases before, we know that the government want to reindustrialization in the country. So we are also promoting our opportunities to get some local production in Colombia. We have met with different ministries, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and also Ministry of Mining, Energy and Mining. We also met with the Ministry of Transport. All of them show very strong interest to work on BYD to implement a plant for electric vehicles. So right now we are analyzing this opportunity. We see that it's very interesting as well now.
Lara, I have a last question. I am the father of 2 daughters, and until now you tell us that you are 12 years abroad. I mean, outside your country, like a CEO, open a new market. I know that Colombia is not an easy country, but you have been doing the job, a really good job. Open new cities, open new businesses. What could be an advice for the women that are seeing this podcast to be a successful CEO in this world right now?
Thank you for asking this question for a female leader like me. I think the gender equality all the time is still a problem, not only in Colombia, but in the world in general. But we also see that it is changing. However, maybe not reaching that to the levels we want to see. Totally, we still have some different issues because of the female labor, the opportunities for them. So as a female leader, actually, I really appreciate the opportunity the company give to me and the trust I win from my company. Actually, my boss, Mr. Stella Lee, she's also very respectful female leader, and she's our executive vice president and also president for the whole American region. And she has a very big vision to the changes we want to do in the countries. And she's a role model for me. And she gave to me the opportunities. From my side, I also cherish and I learn. I also want to catch up a lot of opportunities and to do more contributions to the company. However, from my side, I also more willing to give a lot of opportunities to the female workers in my team. Actually, now we have in administrative team, a finance team, our administrative, most of them are girls, are female workers. So all of them are very talented people. Definitely, they have different roles. They are mother, they are wife. Yeah, they are also the female workers. So I think it's not so easy, but we should, from the society, we should give more attention and opportunities for female workers. I want to also mention one very interesting project we have is it's a project with the female drivers. We have one bus patio called La Rolita. It is a patio of the public operator. It is one of the public company of Transmilenio. So in this patio, most of the drivers are female drivers, and actually we also give to them opportunity. We donated one library, also one activity living rooms that they can also share. They can also bring their children to share the space. They can bring feeding the babies in that place. Yeah. So I think it's very important movement support to the females. And they are not only in the finance team, I mentioned, they are also drivers. So you can see how powerful they are. So I see that we cannot ignore the female power. I know we want to give them more opportunities in the growth of the company. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, females are the strong gender.
Yeah. So I like your comments. Actually, we hope that every man will think like you. Yeah. Females are very strong genders now. They should be respected. Thank you.
Well, Lara, thank you very much for sharing with us this little time about BYD, about the project, about you. Thank you very much for sharing with us your way of think. And I hope that you still growing in Colombia, and why not consider a facility here in our country.
Definitely, yeah. I really, like I just mentioned, I really love Colombia, and I want Colombia to be the best. So I also hope I will also work with the company and to bring more good changes to the country. Yeah.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
And stay tuned. And
Thank you so much, Julia.